loves, it's Sam. Today I'm going to be doing a highly requested look for you guys. I've had so many people ask for this. What is the glitter that I'm wearing? How do I do it? I will show you everything from beginning to end, foundation, lip, everything. So stay tuned and you will see how I do this look. I hope you guys like it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already or if you are new. Welcome to my channel if you are new. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you did find this helpful and you love this look. It's really pretty. It's super fun. Totes fun. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is prime my face, which I always do with the GERARD Anti-Blemish Matte Primer. So for the most part, my skincare or like foundation routine is pretty similar. There's a few things that I have changed. So I like to put a good amount of that on because it really does help to kind of, it's not necessarily a pore filler, but it definitely does kind of make them better, but it really does help with the oil control. So next I'm going to take my Estee Lauder Double Wear. This is in the color 3N1. I like to just massage this in with my fingers. It gives a much more natural finish. It also is really a lot better if you have fine lines and wrinkles, because when you apply it with the brush or even the beauty blender, I feel like it tends to get a little bit more product on, and then that's when you start getting your settling. So if you are someone who has used Double Wear in the past and then started getting fine lines and wrinkles and decided that you didn't like the foundation anymore, give it a go with that primer, because I feel like that primer and this foundation together go really well. But also make sure that you use it with your fingers. Next I do concealer. This is my concealer that I'm obsessed with. It's the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin. I have the color 02. This is the UK version. If you do want to try the UK version because you don't want the wand, which is the US version, then just go to lifeandlooks.com or .co.uk. Just Google Life and Looks, I think it'll come up, but I'll probably just find a link for you guys so you guys can get it that way. But that's where I order mine from. And it's a little bit more expensive than if you were to just buy it here, but I really do like the fact that it's a tube. I feel like it just, you get a lot, I don't know. I just don't really like wands. They're not my favorite in the world, so I prefer being able to squeeze a product on. I feel like you get a little bit more, just goes on better that way. And then I'm just gonna blend that out with a damp beauty blender. Okay, so the next thing I do is take my NARS Light Reflecting Setting Powder. This is loose. If you have wrinkles, if you have fine lines underneath your eyes, if you have big pores, you need to get this powder. I think the trick is to really buff it in with a small brush. This is the Morphe MB23. And that is the key to this powder. If you just brush it on very lightly with a big old powder brush, you're not gonna like the way it looks. You really have to buff this in and really spend time working it underneath the eyes. I also like to apply this underneath or on my chin. Basically anywhere that you have pores or wrinkles is where you're gonna put it. I take my Ben Nye Super White Professional Powder. This is amazing for brightening underneath the eyes. I first found out about it from Natalie from Live and Nat, and it's basically my most favorite product. I use the exact same brush. I just kind of put a tiny, you don't need much of this because it's white. I get a tiny little bit and I just start buffing it right underneath the eyes, and that's just going to give you that brightening effect. But by buffing it in with this loose or this kind of, you know, fluffy brush, it gives you a much more natural kind of brightening effect under there versus the really like super duper Instagram face. Instagram face to me means that like, whoa, Nelly brightness, you know? This is a little bit more, without using the brightening concealer underneath and the pink and the white, this way is just more everyday appropriate. It gives a nice brightness, but it's not too much. And you can do this every day because it's not that much of an extra step. It's just, you know, it's not terrible. But it looks really nice in person as well. Not only does it look good on film, but it really does just look really nice in real life. This is the Max Factor Loose Powder. I take a big fluffy brush from Too Faced and I just start buffing that in everywhere else other than under my eyes. So I kind of just blend it, but I'm just getting a little bit at a time, just a tiny little layer, and I just kind of really dust it off. The trick is to really buff it into the skin and then you really get that flawless kind of finish. Plus it makes your makeup stay on so long, you will not transfer. Like, this is stuck on my face forever. Okay, now moving on to my bronzer contour. This is the Morphe E4. I love it. It's amazing. This is the Clé de Peau, I think that's how you say it, Bronzing Powder Duo. This is pricey. I got this in when I went and did something with Mode. It was like an award thingamabobber. They gave this to me, so this is very pricey, but it's honestly so good. I love it. It's nice because one side is a slightly deeper color and it has a little bit of a shimmer or like a sheen, and then one side is just a straight up lighter kind of matte. And so what I like to do is dip my kind of more long angled side into the bronze or the kind of shimmery, and then the matte into that, and then it really just creates a really awesome color. I really love doing it this way because it gives you the deepest amount right in that very hollow, and then it kind of just, the lighter kind of matte just kind of blends everything out. So it gives you a really great kind of contour. But it also gives you, so then I switch it over when I do my forehead and I get the shortest part in the shimmery color. So I kind of just like to switch it up depending on what part of my face I'm on. Then I go on my jaw. Make sure you blend that all out so that you're matching. And then I also go underneath the lip, again with the shorter side in the bronzer kind of shimmery side. I also kind of do a little bit of contouring on my chin, just to kind of make it look a little bit more angled. And then the last thing I do is down the side of my nose. For my blush, I'm super obsessed with this. This is the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Blush in the color 30 Flush. Guys, this is the perfect color for spring, summer. It looks really intense and bright and you're like, but it's so gorgeous on the skin, especially if you do have a bit of a tan. I'm using the Morphe M509. I love this brush. This is really pigmented for a drugstore blush. Don't use too much because you will look like a clown. So I make sure to just kind of brush a little bit of the color off first. And see how it just gives you this really gorgeous, like, kind of coral flush to the cheek. For my highlight, I'm going to use something new. This isn't actually released yet. It will be very soon. I believe spring, maybe like April time. This is by Moonplay Cosmetics. She gave us all this sample of this highlight, and she called it the strobe powder. But then we said you should call it Vow because it is like perfection for a wedding. It is this really pretty pale pink. Oh, it's so finely milled, like it is such perfection. I use the E27 and basically I just start buffing that, and it is so beautiful, guys. I cannot wait for this cosmetics company to like actually launch because I feel like you guys are going to absolutely love it. The owner is, whoa, see, look at that. Look how beautiful that is. The owner is so sweet. She's an absolute sweetheart. She's so amazing. Like, we had such a great time. But then when I actually tried the product, I was like, oh yes. Right up here, just to kind of give me a little bit of a glow as well. But see how beautiful that is? It's so pretty. Yes. And then I'm going to take a little bit on the tip of my nose, down the center of my nose, and then on my lip. And I really like this brush for highlight. It really does a good job of buffing it in so it looks very, very skin-like. And kind of like there's not a powder sitting on top. I want everything to look, by buffing everything in a lot and really working it in, it just creates it so that it doesn't look like you have powder products on your skin. I do my eyebrows using the Hourglass Arch Brow Sculpting Pencil in Platinum Blonde. I will not show that part because it takes forever. This is Kindness from ColourPop. It's from the Metamorphosis collection that Coffee Break with Danny created. And that whole collection is awesome. Like, you guys, if you haven't ordered it, you need to. I get a M433 and I really work it into the brush. This is awesome brush to use when you are using ColourPop. So I first like to just place it into the crease and I really kind of work it in. The nice thing about this is that it has these tiny little flecks of shimmer, but they're not super chunky. They're just very kind of like subtle. So I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to tell, but they have this little kind of blue pinky kind of glow going on. So that's the first thing I do. I just kind of stick it right into the crease just to create a nice transitional shade, but I want a little bit of sparkle to be in that crease so that it's, when I put the glitter on my lid, it's still going to be a little bit of shimmer in the crease. It's not straight up matte, because I kind of like the way it looks when it's still a little bit of a glow going on there. I forgot to do my under eye highlight. This is from GERARD Cosmetics. It is the Star Powder in Grace. Great highlight, guys, if you haven't tried this yet. And I just get a Sigma E32, and I just get a little bit of that and just place that right underneath my brow, and it just gives a really, really gorgeous glow. Now the next step that you're gonna do is get a glitter, pink glitter. This is MAC. It is called 3D Pink. That's what it looks like. And this is the most amazing part that you need if you're gonna use a glitter. This is the LA Splash Splash-Proof Sealer Eyeshadow Sealer Base. This is the key to this. When you're using it on the lid, swipe the brush down and then swipe it across your lid, and you will get a little bit more pigmentation that way by just kind of swiping it. And it really does get the glitter, especially with these ColourPop colors. If they do have shimmer or glitter, you'll get the better payoff by doing it, by just kind of pressing it down and sliding it across the lid. I also take this on my bottom. I'm getting all ahead of myself here. Please hold. I get the E58, dip it back and forth, like switching sides into the Kindness from ColourPop. I look up and I really buff it in. Now we're moving on to glitter. Take your LA Splash and then place your wand and get a good old blob on the back of your hand. Then open up your glitter. You want to work quick because this stuff dries fast. So this just comes like a loose. Get your finger, swirl it in, and then press over the lid. You are not going to want to take this into your crease. You're just going to put it onto the entire lid. If you want to get really close to that corner, you can also use a small brush. Then with your other finger that is clean, you're going to start pressing the glitter, and when you start to feel your finger getting tacky from the underneath base, dip it again. And you're basically just going to press it all over the lid, like so. Okay, so now you're gonna go back in with your crease brush, and you're just gonna kind of buff off the excess that kind of snuck up on there. And you will have a little bit kind of hiding up there. That's okay. I mean, you're not gonna get everything off. Get your little brush that you put your under eye powder with, and then you're just going to really buff that off. Next for the eyes, you're going to take ColourPop Fanny Pack. This is the Super Shock Cheek. You're going to take a pencil brush and you're just going to pop that right into the inner corner, and it's just going to give you that really like wide awake effect. For my mascara, I'm going to take Lancome Seals Booster XL. I do 2 coats of that, and then I do 2 coats of the Hypnose Drama from Lancome. Okay, so there is the eyes done. So you can see how it just is so pretty. It really catches the light. It's gorgeous. So for my lips, today I'm going to be using the new Kylie Jenner, where is it? Coco K. This is the, actually I think I'm going to apply a little bit of chapstick just because my lips are super dry. This is a Victoria's Secret. Okay, so I'm going to take the Coco K lip liner from Kylie Jenner. And then I'm going to take the Coco K Matte Liquid Lipstick. This is what it looks like. Okay guys, that's it. That's the finished look. Sparkly eyes, it's pink, it's sparkly, it's feminine, it's girly, it's so fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Oh, I forgot my zits. I was going to show you the trick of how to cover your zits. Here's what you do. You take a tiny little brush. This is the Morphe E35. You're going to take your foundation. This works if you have a matte foundation, and you're just going to very gently just tap over it. And I'm just getting the foundation from the rim, like the tiniest amount. You don't want a lot. And you want to just have a really, really light hand with it. Just barely press on wherever it is that you're having the issue. Like, I'm not even going to cover these because they could be freckles, so it's like whatever. But if you have like just a little bit of redness. By doing it at the very last step, your powder has already set, so it's created kind of like a nice base for you to reapply your foundation over it and make it so that it actually sticks. And then I just get whatever is left on my powder brush and just very gently just tap it on top just to set it. And that is how you cover a big zit. Okay, now I'm gonna go. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.